that, Marion, when it says recording in progress. So tell me, where are you? Are you in the Caribbean? You look amazing, Marion. Where are you today?
I think I'm in the Bahamas, darling.
Loving that, loving that. Well, hello, Tim Pierre. Marion and I are going to have a very interesting conversation, but in case you don't know who Marion is, why would you not know who Marion is? Marion, do you want to just give a brief introduction of yourself and what you do up here?
Yeah, hi. So I'm peer health lead nurse, and I organise all the lead nurses and all the nursing teams for any education, for bringing them up to date with what the current status of the PCN is. And I pass on information discussed at boards and new contracts, everything that comes in, basically. I also advise and help the girls and hold regular meetings with them.
Fantastic. So clearly a very important role within peer, as always, Marion. But you know, one thing I've always been very curious about is how you actually got into nursing. Because I've always seen nursing as a bit more of a vocation, a calling of a sort. Not everybody has got the right, I guess, tendencies to be a nurse. So tell me what actually prompted you to be a nurse and how long you've been nursing for.
Oh gosh, so I've been nursing for 42 years. I'm pretty sure it's a long time ago. And my Aunt Wynne was a nurse. So when I was 7 years old, I used to look at her in her lovely uniform. I liked the dress and think, oh, I'd like to do that. And then when I was 18, someone said to me, why don't you go into nursing? Because I was always the one that was helping with people's problems. And I thought, oh, I'll go along for an interview, and kind of was just quite blasé about it and really quite surprised they offered me the job, actually, to go training. So I did my training. I loved it. And I've never looked back. I would never do anything else.
There's something you said that is so important in this day and age, and it was your aunt who was a nurse. So role modeling plays a big part in nursing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I know there's that uniform, the whole uniform effect as well, but that role model aspect is really key. So how is it that we're role modeling now within peer for I guess the newer next generation nurses? What is it that you're doing to role model them into becoming a Marion of the future?
So I like to educate them. I like to talk to them on a one-to-one regularly. I like to pass on information, and I like to lead by example. And one of the things I've always felt with nursing is never say you can do something you can't, or never say you can do or know something you can't follow through on. That's how I've always role modeled, and always be kind. Everyone has problems at one point or another. Always be kind.
I like that. I find nurses so kind. I don't think it's one of those jobs that you could do if you're not a kind-hearted person, isn't it? It's just one of those, and it is a really difficult role, isn't it? Being a nurse is a very difficult job. So what is the biggest challenge within nursing?
The biggest challenge within nursing these days, I would say, is juggling family with continual education and work. So getting a work-life balance is a really big challenge for most nurses. Just finishing on time some days is a really big challenge. And always in nursing, we're driven. So I've gone through I started as an enrolled nurse, then I converted. And in my time, I converted to level 1. And then it wasn't good enough to be just a registered nurse. You had to be a registered nurse with diploma. So you had to go back. And then you had to have a degree. And that now it's masters. And it is constantly changing and pushing. And in a minute, we'll be doctors.
I bet.
And there's, I always hear that, oh, I'm just a nurse. You're not just a nurse, not at any level of nursing. You are a person doing a fantastic, amazing job. And I wish there were more of us.
I wish there was more of you guys too. It's just fascinating, sort of going through the continuous learning. I like the fact that within nursing, you've got that continuous part of just almost reinventing yourself almost, isn't it, all the time, which I think, you know, is absolutely fabulous. So Marion, you actually have a day job in 168 and also are a lead nurse. So when you're not at 168 Medical and when you're not lead nursing for Peer Health, what do you do? Where can we find you when you've got chill out time? Of course, there's always you at the beach, but where else can we find you?
So on a Wednesday, you'll find me in the morning with my grandchildren. I look after them on a Wednesday morning. They are 1 year old and 3 years old. And then on Wednesdays afternoons, you either find me doing peer health work, or on the days when I haven't got that, I'm with my parents. So I have generations at both ends. I kind of go between. Weekends, I have a great social life. I like to socialize.
I bet you do, Marion.
I think friends are very important. Friends outside of your profession are really important because you're not talking work all the time. But I do have a lot of friends that are nurses as well, and they're lovely. And we like to let our hair down now and enjoy ourselves now and again.
Oh, I know that, Marion. Don't we just know that up here?
Yeah, we know how to enjoy ourselves.
Fantastic, Marion. Well, before you go, if there was one advice you can give to all the new nurses coming out within peer, what would it be?
Try and keep a good perspective on life, on your own life. Don't take work so seriously that it overrides everything else in life. There's always a solution to a problem. If you come into nursing, you'll open doors you never expected to. There's a whole new world out there, and you'll meet people you would never have met otherwise. It's a great career.
Oh, that is touching. Only if I was a teenager, I'd be going straight into nursing. It's so touching, Marion. Thank you so much for your time. Team Peer, Marion, who is today in the Bahamas. I think she said she was at.
I'm in the Bahamas, Nassau, I think. Is that the Bahamas? My geography's not great.
Thank you, Marion.
Okay, you're welcome.